Hey everyone, welcome back. CIG had a significant presence at the Bar Citizen event in Shenzhen, China over the weekend, and the Q&A session with John Crewe, Erin Roberts, Chris Roberts, and Tyler Witkin produced a genuinely impressive amount of development information. There is a lot to get through, so let's go topic by topic, starting with ships and vehicles because John Crewe covered a lot of ground here. Larger power plants will give you more available power to distribute to systems like weapons, increasing their performance beyond standard levels. Power management is going to become increasingly important as the game evolves toward 1.0, and having a quality power plant is going to be a meaningful advantage. CIG is building more ways for larger ships to defend against fighters, specifically mentioning flak weapons as dedicated anti-fighter armaments. This makes a lot of sense given how one-sided some capital versus fighter engagements can be right now. Missiles and torpedoes will be affected by atmospheric flight and use a simplified flight model in that environment. There are no plans for stealth torpedoes. CIG wants players to know when a torpedo is incoming. The Eclipse and other stealth ships work by getting close before launching rather than by having undetectable ordnance. Once torpedoes are fired, they can be detected relatively easily. When it comes to rearming, you will be able to restock ammunition, missiles, and torpedoes separately, so you do not have to pay to fully restock everything if you only need certain things topped up. Ship upgrading through tiers was discussed. Ships can be upgraded through up to 5 tiers with improvements to stats like speed, toughness, and agility. The visual changes to upgraded ships are currently planned to be subtle and minor if they exist at all, since applying visible exterior changes to every ship tier would be an enormous amount of work. Upgraded ships will not gain additional hardpoints or larger component slots through tiers, though modular changes to ships may allow for that kind of expansion separately. Auto-loading and unloading for cargo is coming as an optional feature with a cost and time trade-off. If you want your cargo handled automatically, you will be able to do that, but it will cost credits and take time compared to doing it manually. Ground vehicles will be retrievable via freight elevators, and the size of vehicle you can bring up will scale with hangar size. Extra large hangars will be able to accommodate something as large as an overtank. Hangar customization is also being looked at with potential for more modular placement options, facilities, and ways to display your fleet in your personal hangar space. Drones are currently gated behind base building as their first introduction to the game. Beyond base building, there is potential for other drone applications like tractor drones further down the line. The Hull A will not be getting a tractor beam. There is a medium fighter coming this year that has not been announced yet. That is a notable teaser. Given the sneak peek of a new Origin ship in a recent newsletter with the tagline "If looks could kill" and community reports from the event pointing toward an Origin M80 heavy fighter concept, this unannounced medium fighter could well be the Origin reveal expected at DefenseCon. The Drake Kraken is confirmed for 2027. It is expected to have a medbay with 2 medbeds. The Kraken Privateer will not release at the same time as the base Kraken. The Javelin will not be flyable this year, and there is no hidden Javelin release coming. It is expected sometime after Squadron 42 launches. Onboard crafting for ships like the Clipper is still planned, but requires the ability to craft directly to a cargo grid to function properly. That capability needs to come first before those ships can have their fabricators enabled. There are no current plans for additional player flyable Vandal ships, but more AI Vandal ships are coming in the not too distant future. The Molar Destroyer arriving in 4.8 as part of tactical strike groups. Electronic warfare ships remain planned. Hacking is also coming, but the implementation for Star Citizen specifically is not fully finalized yet. CIG knows what they want to do with hacking in Squadron 42, and a persistent universe version will follow from that. Tracking ships like the Terrapin and Hornet Tracker now only support a single radar rather than multiple. To compensate, those ships will get a modifier item that significantly boosts the effectiveness of whatever radar is fitted, making them meaningfully better at scanning. Command and control holographic globes, as seen in Squadron 42, are planned for large capital ships and command vessels in Star Citizen. They will be used for battle overviews and planning operations. Now, for Erin Roberts and some of the broader development topics covered, suit lockers are actively being worked on. The new flight model, or flight experience, which covers flight, combat, quantum travel, and dogfighting, is also actively in development. CIG wants to drop weapon projectile speeds somewhat so that players can actually evade fire and fights look more cinematic. The Maelstrom physical damage system will eventually replace or update the current armor system when it comes online. The current system is described as more placeholder indicating the intended direction. Tier 1 basic base building will not require a specialized ship. It will use drones and a small buildable card you can take out of your ship. The Pioneer will not be ready for the initial release of base building. Temporary and undiscovered jump points are planned as part of exploration gameplay. You will be able to map and find these through exploration, connecting to new systems, current systems, or even making small jumps within the same system. Pyro will eventually have its flare star pulses restored as an environmental hazard. Weather systems are not complete yet, and improvements are coming across planets and moons. Underwater biomes and explorable areas are planned. Boats from Squadron 42 may cross over to Star Citizen, and swimming and underwater exploration are in the long-term vision. AI conversations and NPC interaction improvements are being looked at. CIG did not rule out exploring large language model technology for NPC dialogue as the game continues to develop. The item finder and asset manager showing where all your gear is will be tied to the economy system. Apps for this on Mobiglass are expected over the coming months alongside economy improvements. Cooking is confirmed as a crafting career with different foods giving different stat buffs. Crafted food will require the same kind of system as other crafting with recipes and materials. Manned turrets will not be able to use AI blades. AI blades are for remote turrets and potentially gimbaled weapons. Turrets can be repaired from inside a ship but cannot be restored if completely destroyed. Squadron 42 is confirmed to receive full Chinese localization, including voice dialogue. Star Citizen will follow later as a longer-term goal. Regarding servers, CIG is interested in expanding regional server capacity for the Chinese community and is looking at potential partnerships with third-party Chinese companies closer to 1.0. Client and server performance optimization is becoming increasingly important as more features are added. Dynamic server meshing will help significantly as it evolves, and CIG has additional optimization plans planned for the push toward 1.0. That is the full summary from the Shenzhen Bar Citizen. There is a genuinely impressive amount of information here, and it paints a clear picture of where Star Citizen is heading across ships, features, exploration, and economy over the next year and beyond. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will catch you in the verse.